Episode 11, Stoicism and Masculine Identity. What Stoicism actually expected of men without modern distortions. The identity crisis no one names. There is a quiet confusion many men live with today. They are told to be strong, but not intimidating, to be decisive, but never assertive, to be disciplined, but always agreeable. And somewhere in the middle of these contradictions, masculine identity collapses into uncertainty. Stoicism is often dragged into this confusion. Some people claim Stoicism teaches emotional numbness. Others say it promotes domination. Others turn it into aesthetic toughness with no substance. All of that is wrong. Stoicism had very clear expectations of men, not ideological, not performative, but practical, demanding, and morally heavy. This episode is about stripping away modern distortion and returning to what Stoicism actually required of a man. Before we go further, a brief invitation. If you value long-form conversations about discipline, identity, and self-command, subscribe to this channel. These episodes are not trends. They are foundations. If you believe masculinity deserves clarity instead of confusion, hit the like button. It helps this message reach men quietly searching for structure. And if you know someone struggling to define what kind of man he's supposed to be, share this episode. Now stay with me, because Stoicism never asked men to disappear. It asked them to stand correctly. What Stoicism never promised men. Stoicism never promised comfort. It never promised status. It never promised admiration. It never promised ease. What it promised was self-command. And self-command is not glamorous. It is earned daily through restraint, judgment, and responsibility. The Stoic view of masculine strength. Stoic strength was not defined by dominance. It was defined by governance. A Stoic man was expected to govern his impulses, govern his emotions, govern his speech, govern his reactions. Power without governance was considered dangerous. This is where modern distortions fail. They celebrate strength without discipline. Stoicism never did. Wise Stoicism did not equate masculinity with aggression. Aggression is easy. It requires no training, no restraint, no foresight. Stoicism demanded the opposite. A Stoic man was expected to remain composed precisely when aggression felt justified, not because he was weak, but because his strength was internal, not reactive. Emotional control, not emotional erasure. One of the biggest distortions is this, that Stoic men were emotionally numb. They weren't. They felt anger. They felt grief. They felt fear. They felt desire. What distinguished them was control, not absence. A Stoic man did not allow emotion to override judgment. That expectation was strict. Wise Stoicism expected men to carry burden. Stoicism assumed men would carry weight, not because women could not, but because responsibility had to be owned by someone. Stoic masculinity was not entitlement. It was obligation. Men were expected to endure hardship without complaint, act decisively under pressure, place duty above comfort, accept consequences without self-pity. This was not romantic. It was practical. The Stoic rejection of victimhood. Stoicism left no room for victim identity. Circumstances could be unfair. Outcomes could be cruel. Loss could be devastating. But a Stoic man was still responsible for his response. This expectation separated men who endured from men who collapsed. Wise Stoicism demanded honor over recognition. Modern masculinity is often obsessed with validation, likes, approval, status. Stoicism rejected this entirely. Honor was internal. A Stoic man acted correctly even when no one saw, especially when no one saw. That expectation is rare today, and that rarity is why it still matters. The Stoic man and authority. Stoicism did not teach men to seek authority. It taught them to be worthy of it. Authority was a burden. Power required restraint. Leadership required justice. Command required self-command first. Any man seeking authority for ego was considered unfit to hold it. Wise Stoicism required speaking and silence. Stoic men were expected to speak when duty demanded it, and to remain silent when speech served ego. This balance is difficult. Most men err in one direction. Stoicism demanded precision. The Stoic man in physicality. Stoicism respected physical strength, but did not worship it. The body was a tool, a vessel, a responsibility. Neglect was weakness. Obsession was vanity. Balance was expected. Wise Stoicism opposed both softness and cruelty. Stoicism rejected extremes. Excessive softness led to passivity. Excessive hardness led to brutality. The Stoic man stood in the middle, firm but fair, strong but restrained, compassionate but not indulgent. This balance is difficult, and therefore valuable. Modern distortions of Stoic masculinity. Today, Stoicism is often distorted into emotional shutdown, performative toughness, aesthetic masculinity, detachment without duty. All of these remove responsibility, which Stoicism never allowed. Stoicism was not about how you looked. It was about how you acted under pressure. What Stoicism actually expected of men. It expected men to govern themselves, act justly, accept hardship, protect order, speak truth, endure loss, remain disciplined, reject excess, carry responsibility without resentment. That list is demanding, and that is the point. Why Stoicism still matters for men today? Because confusion thrives where structure disappears. Stoicism offers structure, not ideology, not grievance, not entitlement, but standards. And standards create identity. Final reflection. Before we close, ask yourself honestly, where have I confused strength with aggression? Where have I mistaken numbness for discipline? Where would self-command restore my confidence? You don't need to answer all of them today. Just one, and then act accordingly. Stoic masculine identity defined. Stoicism did not ask men to dominate the world. It asked them to govern themselves within it. That is the hardest form of masculinity, and the most enduring. If this episode clarified what Stoicism actually expected of men, subscribe to this channel. These conversations are designed to build judgment, not trends. If masculine identity grounded in discipline still matters to you, hit the like button. It helps this message reach men searching for structure instead of slogans. And if you know someone confused about what strength actually looks like, share this episode, not as instruction, as perspective. Stoicism never asked men to become louder. It asked them to become steadier. And steadiness, over time, builds everything else.